You must definitely watch this video until the end before buying a new phone. I will share the points to be considered before buying a phone with you in this video. The most important unit of a phone is its processor. We can also consider it as its heart. Processors are the most significant factor in our choice of phones. For our friends who ask how we will compare the processing of these phones, we can enter ansu.com and take a look at the values here. The important thing for us is the total score value here. Again here, processor, graphics card, RAM and interface unit are separately scored. The total score value that concerns us here is, as I mentioned earlier, Android devices on one side, iOS or iPhone devices, Apple devices on the other side are listed. Before you buy a mobile phone, be sure to visit this site and evaluate your processor compared to other competitors. Definitely compare. Another crucial point, AI scores. Our devices now operate based on artificial intelligence technology. Therefore, the values here are significant for us. Here you can also observe the list sorted in accordance with the highest score. My advice to you is to use processors with 8 cores or more. The frequency value here is also important. It is beneficial to prefer devices with high frequency. When buying a phone, should we choose a phone with an IPS LCD, OLED or AMOLED panel among the must-haves if there is no screen? These are quite important questions. Although IPS panel phones were widely sold in the market in previous years, we now also see AMOLED OLED panel devices in terms of price performance. The persistent problem of IPS panel phones is the light leakage situation referred to as IPS glove. Yellow light leaks happen from the corners of the screen in dark scenes, which is disturbing to us in terms of user experience. Select a phone with an OLED or AMOLED display for an enhanced experience. Currently, phones with OLED and AMOLED screens are widely available, particularly iPhones which utilize OLED screens. The benefit of OLED technology is that it allows for localized utilization of pixels. In dark scenes, blacks appear sharper and clearer as the pixels in those areas turn off, leading to an improved visual quality. However, burn-in issues can also occur on OLED panels. It was a situation that happened to iPhone devices in previous years. Also be cautious about OLED burn-in now. One of the key factors is the refresh rate of the screen. Entering era, leaving behind 60Hz phones. If you're someone who plays games and constantly seeks refreshment, definitely prefer screens with 120Hz and above. One of the most basic factors we pay attention to when buying a phone is its camera. The better the camera, the more inclined we are to buy. Aperture, resolution, sensor size are basic points. Rather than evaluating all, a website provides information on these aspects. You can enter here and see the camera comparison of the phones and also the camera scores. Go to DxOMark website and definitely check the camera performance of every phone. Check rear and front camera scores here. Score table included, evaluating sound performance, assesses camera scores and sound quality once again. We can consider scores in the camera section here. At this point, you can also see the best phones for taking photos. When purchasing a phone, you have the ability to determine the amount of RAM you require or if you need a specific quantity of storage capacity. Be cautious when selecting a device with a minimum of 8 GB on the Android side. The iPhone side has already utilized a lower amount of RAM. With the iPhone 15 family, Apple has now switched to 8 GB RAM with the 15 Pro family. However, even though iPhone devices can operate more smoothly with low RAM, Android devices can be somewhat lacking in this aspect. When buying an Android phone, make sure that the RAM is higher. The RAM expansion feature, which was added to Android phones in recent years, has also arrived. Here, you can also add an additional value as a supplement to your RAM when it takes some from your storages and reinforces your RAM. When buying a phone, the first point we physically contact is the design. Therefore, designs are quite important for us when buying a phone. While flagship devices possess designs at premium levels, material quality and design can be comparatively lower in price-performance devices. When purchasing a phone, it is preferable to choose phones that embody the material quality and design aesthetics of current trends. In the Android side, really quality works, quality designs are made in the mid-range phones. The thing that we all want and expect the most is a long-lasting battery performance. When buying a phone, especially on the Android side, pay attention to having a battery of 4500 mAh or higher. Regrettably, the battery capacities on the iPhone side are still relatively low. Nevertheless, the optimizations implemented with the operating system can provide functionality comparable to Android phones equipped with a 5000 mAh battery. If you prefer an Android-based phone, make sure it has a battery capacity of 4500 to 5000 mAh or higher. If your phone can easily get through a day at this point, I can say that it is at a sufficient level for us. Commonly, we can purchase iOS or Android devices. Naturally, they have different use cases depending on their respective platforms. We also need to consider criteria like update support and security updates for important factors. iOS is more secure than Android because it is a more closed system. There is more vulnerability from the outside on the Android side. We may encounter security problems due to the installation of third-party applications. If you have a high level of concern regarding security, opting for an iOS device would be a prudent choice for you. However, for those who desire more freedom in phone usage, opting for Android will be a better and more favorable choice. While iOS phones receive updates for a longer period, we can use all apps in the current version as up-to-date on the device from 5 years ago. Some manufacturers on the Android side do not provide updates to their phones after 1-2 years. Therefore, we may experience difficulties in terms of security and major version updates. Our friends who want to use their phones in constantly updated software can choose iPhone here. When buying a phone, the most important thing for us is the price-performance ratio, and the most crucial devices in terms of how much performance we get for how much price are meeting us on the Android side. Apple's price-performance phones are quite expensive, so while devices on the Android side can offer higher performance and screen quality at almost half the price, unfortunately, iPhone devices can lag behind their competitors in this regard. For a more efficient phone at a lower price, I highly recommend checking out Android phones. I hope this video has been a helpful guide for you. If you pay attention to these points before buying a phone, your head will ache less. Remember to share your thoughts and comments with me in the comments section if there's any point I missed or you want to ask questions. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video for more videos like this. See you in our next video. Take care. Goodbye.